Hey, I'm back again with another addendum, this time on defense, specifically shield. I want to talk about how to act in shield wars and how to use your shield to minimize your risk of taking big punishes. The second thing I would want to talk about is one specific situation where shielding can almost always guarantee you a good punish. Now, as you may know, there are 3 different options for shield counters. The launcher, the overhead that teleports you behind, and the slice through. Now, because of B's delayed nature, sometimes you will want to delay shield in order to catch the B follow-up. However, my suggestion is that if you aren't planning on catching the B follow-up, then you want to shield as quickly as possible and don't hold the shield button. The reason for this is if you guess wrong and they do teleport behind you, you only get a regular punish and you don't get fatal countered. Now if I delay this incorrectly, I get fatal countered. And if I hold the button, then I also get fatal countered. So not holding the button will defend against that and prevent you from taking a lot of damage. Now there's another reason for this, and I'm going to set the dummy to play back what I've recorded. And what I have recorded is for her to run up, jump, jab, and then immediately do a fast shield. One option I have against this is to do nothing and then do a follow-up and do a jab combo. Now it is possible to punish this way, and this is a little bit rewarding than doing the other standard follow-ups. However, the reason you want to not hold your shield is that it minimizes this window of vulnerability. As you can see, I didn't time this one correctly, as I did a few times already, and thus the Akiha was able to block the attack. I also have the option of doing delay launcher, but I get a little bit less reward for that. Now, of course, if you were expecting the situation, you do have the option of doing an attack and then holding the shield. Oh, oops. You do have the option of doing the attack and holding the shield. But as before, this opens you up to 2 things. The B follow-up, as well as a fatal counter. And both of these are much bigger punishes than the previously mentioned jab or delayed launcher. So if you are really expecting this delayed follow-up, you can choose to hold the shield, but it is very risky and something to keep in mind. So the takeaway is holding the shield is very risky, and you should press the shield counter as soon as possible, unless you are specifically going for the B counter. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is one situation where you almost always have an advantageous situation, and that's when you shield aerial attacks. I'm going to go ahead and set this dummy to do a jumping attack, and have it land as high as possible, and then have her walk back. Now when I shield this, I can delay my launcher when she touches the ground. Because the landing now has recovery frame since I shielded the attack, she has no choice. So if I react to her landing, I can always get a consistent punish, even if I'm waiting for shield. I can wait for shield, see that she didn't use it, and then use my follow-up. Now let's take a look at the situation where the dummy chooses to shield after the attack. Have her shield and then walk back. I'm having a hard time getting this recording, sorry. Walk back. Now, you may have noticed already, but when Aki has shields, she actually does a little jump up, which only happens when she counter shields. This actually gives me even more reaction time to react to the fact that she counter shielded and then get a punish off it. Because of this, if you shield an air attack, your opponent is very vulnerable, because if she shields or if she doesn't shield, all you have to do is wait, and she'll eventually do something that you can punish. Now the one exception to this is if they use the BC follow-up. The BC follow-up is always good for getting yourself out of danger, and so it'll be very hard for you to follow up. Now, if you're feeling brave, you can choose to use the BC follow-up yourself to chase them down, but keep in mind that since the attack is shielded, they do have the chance to shield themselves. So I will set this dummy to do BC follow-up and then shield. And there we go, she shielded my attack. So that is the one situation where you have to consider that mind game, but in the standard situation where your opponent doesn't want to press the BC follow-up, you will always be able to get a punish on it. These two are very important things to keep in mind, and I hope you will take these into consideration whenever you're trying to use shield. Oh, sorry, one thing I also wanted to add, some characters do have notable follow-ups they can do off their BC, which works even if the attack is shielded, but normally you will also be safe against this when you shield an air attack. I'll show you why right now. I'm going to set this CL dummy to guard all, shield all. Alright, I'm going to set the CL dummy to attack, BC cancel, and then throw some black keys. Now if I play this back, I'm going to hold shield the whole time and not change my guard. And as you can see, I didn't need to change my shield and I was able to block everything. So as such, I'm sure you can begin to see why I have such a huge advantage when I shield any air attack. And if I really feel brave, I can try to challenge this with a... And if I feel really brave, I can try to challenge this with a B counter. That ends this addendum, and thank you for watching.